What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to FBA Capital. And today I'm bringing you guys another daily range case study on none other than NAS100. So let's get right on into this video. Let me turn my volume on my the volume is down on my iPad. Hold on. Turn this off. Alright. So let's get right on into this daily range breakdown. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna mark up the previous day's high and the previous day's low, as we always do, because this is part of our overall my 3-point outline that I like to do, which consists of the previous day's high, the previous day's low, the previous day's Asian session range. So from 18 o'clock all the way to midnight, we're going to get that range and we're going to outline it. And then we're going to get the last part, which is going to be our 12 a.m. open, which is going to be right here. First thing I want you guys to pay attention to is going to be a few areas. I want you to pay attention to this high, this high, this high, and this low. These are going to be our main points of interest that I want you guys to pay attention to. We're going to start off with this high up here. But before we do that, I want you to pay attention to this previous day's high and previous day's low. Why is that important? Because I'm going to show you something right here. So you see this Asian session high, guy ran through, cleared the liquidity, had a false break. At what time? This would happen at 3 o'clock in the morning. So that happened at 3 o'clock in the morning, which created what? The high of the day. So we have the high of the day during London session at 3 o'clock in the morning after we cleared the Asian session range. And also, we're going to pull our fib now from that previous day's high to that previous day's low. Pull it over. And you see that it's also a fib short from that previous day's high to that low. So there's a lot of confirmations in this specific area on why price should overall continue to move in the downward direction. So now let's annotate this and also pay attention. Price didn't tap into the 15,200 level, so I'm not going to annotate that. But nonetheless, we have the high of the day at 3 a.m. and our fib short from the previous day's low to the previous day's high. We also have the Asian range high cleared. Also, we were above the 12 a.m. open, just like that. And what other confirmation did we have? If we go to a higher time frame, let's see if we potentially tapped into any order blocks, in which we did. Whereat, if you look over to the left, right here, we have this last down candle before the move, which I honestly don't want to use that because it was used at some point. Here, let me move a little bit higher. We're now on the 1 hour time frame. Let's try the 4 hour. Okay, so we do have a few order blocks that we could potentially use. We have a 1 hour one and a 30-minute one. But in this case, I'm just not going to annotate it because it will be, I have a lot of other annotations to do. So we're just going to keep it as is. Where did the Asian session range go? Not sure. I just sneezed. Holy shit. Hopefully I muted that for you guys. But here, now we're going to get the Asian session range again. I'm not sure why it disappeared. Boom. Boom. Like I said, we ran above this high, cleared it at 3 in the morning, creating the high of the day in our fib short from the previous day's high to the previous day's low after we cleared the Asian range high above the 12 a.m. open. So this was, once I seen this in the morning, I knew that I knew what type of trade I was looking for off rip. I knew that I wanted to see a continuation of this downwards trend. Why? Because I knew that yesterday was also a bearish day. We retraced, made this high of the day during London session at that time, and price immediately started to run lower. So now we're going to pay attention to what happened after that. So we're going to use this high because we know that this high is going to be important because this is the high of the day. Now we're going to use this low right here. Why this low? Because this is the low that price created before I had this retracement. And this retracement is going to be important. Why? Because this is the move that retraced 62% to the pip. To the pip, it came to the 62% right here. And that's not the only confirmation we have. We also have this Asian session range that we marked up. We're going to mark up to 50% of it now. Now we're going to move that over. Boom. Price traded right into the 50% of that Asian session range. Let me make this red. Price traded right into the 50% to the pip but a 62% of that fib short. At what time? 8:30 in the morning. And that's not the only confirmation. We're going to go to that hour time frame, 30-minute time frame, hour time frame, 4-hour time frame. And we're going to look for a potential order block in which price retrace into at that specific time. So the one I'm going to be using is going to be on this hour time frame or the 30-minute. right here. So these last two candles right here is going to be our bearish order block right there. And when we go back to that 15-minute time frame, you're going to see the confluence that it has. So price retraced right into it to the pip. Like, I have to really zoom in all the way for you guys to see this. It actually missed it by like a millipip. I don't even think this is a pip. 1.4 of a pip. That tells you something. But look at the difference. So it missed it by a few pips, but even then I wasn't able to catch this trade. It missed it by a literal pip. 1 pip. That tells you something. That these are accurate predictions. And at what time? 8:30. So now we're going to annotate this. So we have this fib short from that London session high to the New York session low. Plus we have that, I'm going to say, the 1 hour bearish order block, along with the 50% of the Asian range rejection. What other confirmation did we have? That's only confirmations we had in that specific area. So we're just going to leave it at that. And then from here, price ran below and targeted what? Target the previous day's low, along with big figure level 15,000. And as you can see, once we came into this 50,000 level, price had this reaction. It came in, rejected, had a retracement. And then from there, you simply could have did this again. So we're just going to simply, I use a fib a lot, as you guys can see. You can simply use the fib again to potentially anticipate another move. Draw the fib again. And you see price came into another fib short, just like this. And this is going to be our potential re-entry that you could have caught. So if you weren't able to catch this move, like I wasn't able to, you still could have waited, and then at 10:45, you potentially could have caught this short also. In this case, I didn't take this trade because I was done for the day. I wasn't going to force a trade after I missed this move here, and price kept running lower. I didn't expect it to have a retracement like this, as it did, but nonetheless it did. So we're going to annotate this because there's things to learn from. So at 10:45, price retraced into this breaker block that we have right here. Boom, retrace right into that breaker block. At 10:45, into that fib short, and then price continued to melt. So we're going to annotate that. So price retrace into the fib short, plus that 15-minute breaker block, along with what? If you look over even more, retrace right into that low, the Asian session. So we retrace into the Asian range low. And then what else happened? At what time was this? At 10:45. So we're going to put the time. Times are important because when you know what times price likely has these reactions, you can always use it in the future for potential trades. So like I said, look at this. It didn't come to it, so to the pip, so I'm not going to do it, but it came right to that Asian session low. Matter of fact, it was off a little bit, so it actually might be right into that low. Crazy, right there. Right to the low. Look at that, to the pip. Retrace into this 15-minute breaker block. Fib short from this high to this low at 10:45, which is still early New York session. And then from here, price just simply melted, targeting the previous day's low. And then we have all the way down here, we have the low of the day. So let's see what price created this low of the day at. It looks like it created it right at 14,900. It didn't tap into 14,800 yet. So 14,900 is going to be where we got that low of the day. Right here. Price retrace into it. And we're going to go to a higher time frame to see where price retraced into. So let's go to this hour time frame. We're going to be using the previous week's low, and we're going to see if there was a potential move. So we're going to pull our fib from here all the way to this high. Get 38.20%. So just like that, we're going to move it over. Boom, just like that. Make sure this is all lined up perfectly. Just like that. Go back to the 15-minute time frame, and you can see it came almost to the pip. It missed it, but in a lot of cases, it's not going to miss it. So we're going to annotate that. And at what time does this happen? At 15:45, which is about 2:45. So we have the low of the day at 2:45 p.m. At what level? 14,900. Plus we have that fib long 38.20% rejection. It didn't tap into it. I know that. But you guys got to keep in mind that it's missing it by a pip. And when it misses it by a pip, you got to keep in mind that it's not always going to happen like that. There's not always going to be times where it misses it by a pip. In this case, it did, but it's by 1.6 pips. 1.6 points, not even 2 points. That's not going to happen that often. So you just want to keep that in mind. So you want to annotate that because the likelihood of being able to catch a trade like this in the future is going to be more likely than unlikely. And that's just what it is. We have the low of the day at 2:45 p.m. after price traded into 14,900, rejected it, into the fib long 38.20% from the previous week's low to the current week high. And this is really all that happened today. It was a clean reversal, not reversal, clean bearish London continuation. There was a lot of fib moves that you could have caught, but that's usually what happens with these trending days. You're able to catch easy retracements because price is just trending in a specific direction. So now we're going to get the schematic of what happened today. So we had the Asia session range. London session came up, cleared the highs, retraced, and price continued to move down the rest of the day. So this is a clean example of what you guys would want to look for on a daily, weekly basis. And even though I wasn't able to capitalize on this trade, there were other opportunities that you could have capitalized on. And there's even one right here that looks like that you could have capitalized on right here. I'm not going to annotate it because I already have like 18 fibs drawn. But nonetheless, these are the main moves. And these are all moves that happen later on in the day. So 15 o'clock right here is about 2 o'clock. And I don't trade at that time, sadly. But you can see, same thing. Retrace right into this bearish order block. Fib short. And then it just kept melting. Just because as long as you know the direction, the trade is going to be the easy part. All you got to know is where to have your stop loss. And that's when these highs come in handy, because I know if I wanted to go short, I would have been looking to go short at the 62% at this 30-minute order block. But at this time, I was already, price was falling, and at 9:30, I was expecting a potential retracement so I can potentially go short, but I didn't get it, and that's when I just called it a day and let price do whatever it did. But I'm currently still holding a position from this high from yesterday, from this bearish, was it a bearish? Yeah, bearish London continuation that I have from all the way up here around 15,200, and I'm still holding it. It's up about, here, I'll check for you guys. Here, I'll show it in the camera for you guys. Why not? It's up about 280 pips, as you guys can see right here. Hopefully you can see it. I'm holding just a runner in there. And mind you, this is on the hour time frame. So here, I'm trying to zoom in a little bit. As you can see, I'm holding it from up there. Price is currently falling. So I'm still holding that runner position. So that's why I kind of was fine with price falling and not getting that trade. But nonetheless, it's still a good overall trading day. And sadly, I couldn't take advantage of it. But it is what it is. There's another day tomorrow, another week next week. There's opportunities every single day. So with that being said, hopefully this video was helpful to you guys. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you share it with someone if this was helpful in any way, shape, or form. Make sure you join the Telegram, because the Telegram is where I send all these trades. And this trade that I have up here, I actually called for free. So if you want to join, be my guest. But with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure you stay motivated by the fear of being average. Sorry, it's a little late. It's 12 in the morning, but with that being said, I'll see you all tomorrow morning for my live trading session, and I'll see you all soon. Have a good night, and I'll see you all in the morning.